Holy shit, holy shit. Oh my God. What the hell is that? Oh my gosh. There are people out there that didn't believe my claim that the United States and Dubai stole over $100 trillion I should have had because I could die over and over and I'm God. And they misrepresented murdering me and somehow told the world that they were gods or mini gods representing Bonnie, the great god who could die over and over, and they stole over hundreds of trillions of dollars and more. Plus they milked all the money countries and more would give them. For a long time, acting like it's all about Bonnie, give us all the money. But I never got better. I always laid like a dead blob in a corner. After a while, a lot of people didn't really believe that there was anything good going towards anything or anybody, but like sometimes they still gave money. And this is all just what I've heard from gods. And then sometimes they would take off and be like, you're not doing anything good, but no one can prove it. So I found out from gods they would murder me in mass quantity and more in secret. So they would magically create parties and events and massive things in front of everybody. So they'd have these big parties for show and big shows in front of everybody. And in these big shows in front of everybody, it was always about Bonnie, the great dead god who could die more than once. And it was always about how they were like miniature gods serving, the dead Bonnie god, blah, blah, blah. And they'd have these big party and events and take all the money or get all money that would be given to them. Now that money is the blood money of the death of God and more. Scary, scary, scary shit. But anyway, so they'd take all this money, and according to these gods, they'd send everybody on their way like it was the most beautiful place ever known, and then get the whole world and a bunch of devils, demons, evil gods, good gods, anyone who would murder me and shit with them, aliens, weird spirits, weird planets that were nearby, and gods were helping them find planets and stuff. Mass quantity, obliterate my death and violence, dance around and brag that they get all the money, they get all the worship, and one day the stupid Bonnie will be dead and gone from dying too much, and it'll be all about them being God. And that's what's been happening for over 50 some years. And it's like, wow. One, I just don't know how any people could participate in things that gross. Wouldn't you notice that somebody's always a dead blob? Like, even if they show you who Bonnie is, wouldn't you get that nothing ever gets better? Like, you don't have to be Einstein. Like, but whatever, I don't know. I was the one that had to be dead all the time. Or too drugged and poisoned to have a brain all the time. So, I hear that they did all these things. So when I heard about it, I claimed all of it or put it in videos or posted or something. Well, there's people out there. I can clearly feel people that know that the United States and Dubai stole like endless money, and now everybody has to pay for every penny of all of it. And it's actually a very, very terrifying thing. But of course, people that murder God don't care and don't want to care. So it's like, well, sadly, the United States and Dubai are just going to tell you they murder. They had already started taking over the world in secret, and they're just not going to care. But it is nice to know that people out there know for sure that what they stole from me was more money than probably anything or anybody would have gotten. And they stole it and spent it all. And it was like their celebration of murdering me money and all kinds of weird, sickening stuff. But like, it's good to know that like someone out there knows. Can you all these gods tell me the story of what's happened to me for over 50 years. And I just, and like I said, I was mostly dead, drugged and poisoned. And I would use my little to nothing powers to do whatever I could do all the time. And it's phenomenally dumbfounding to one, think that people would participate for even a second and not clearly understand. So after a while, I asked gods, wouldn't you have told them? And the gods were like, yeah, gods were telling everybody the truth, but they still kept giving money to these countries. So sometimes people are just going to act like they didn't know they were giving money to murder of God, but most of them did pretty quickly. And then also, how could you be somebody that runs a country and doesn't want to make sure that dollar ends up in God's hand, literally? Because, like, okay, when you're just a human, you think you know everything. When you're rich, sometimes you think you know everything. But when you're very, very, very powerful and wealthy, you learn about spiritual forces. You learn about how things affect your wealth easily. You learn about how to be afraid of reptilians and alien crop circles. And why would you not make sure that goddamn dollar ends up in God's hand? Because why the fuck would you play Russian roulette with your future like that? And why would you do it when gods teach you that you will pay the brunt price for all of it? People that run countries are told by gods that they will pay the price ultimately for everything. So see, the people during the Great Depression, they took what money was left and ran, and the gods found them and said, I said you take the brunt of everything because you run the country. And don't ask what happened. But like, why would you do it then? Like, a lot of this stuff just doesn't make any sense unless this really is a planet that would murder God, be that sickening, and really need to pay the ultimate prices. And sadly, that's all you can figure out in the end, is that it wasn't just the United States getting rid of the Pledge of Allegiance and putting God hate everywhere. They were all going to murder God forever, and they were all that weird and creepy and disturbing. It's like, well, that's the blood money of the death of God. I don't even want to talk about what it means.